Podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
You want to play what? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taylor.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your Majesty.
And now here's your host, John Taylor.
Hey, here I am with our clunky opening. I swear to God, I wish I had some time to do some Googling so that we can get away from doing that. Welcome again to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, the podcast that dares to ask the questions that you want the answers for. And today, I got to tell you, boys, I think that question could not be more obvious. And for the answer to today's big question, I will turn it over to my colleague, Jesse Martin.
What's going on? What big question are you talking about?
And of course, that is the hard-hitting integrity that you're going to get from this show. Of course, my friend and my idol of millions, of course, over here is Keith Gray, my good friend. Look, man, I got to tell you something. I read what happened at your house with your dog.
Yeah, and?
Well, I just want to say, man, I feel you. It's terrible. You don't know what to do with your dog. Look, man, one time my beagle got out, ran down the street to where the farms are, and killed 4 cows before I could fucking stop him. So I understand. I feel you.
Yeah, man. Sad and depressing, but I guess my dog got a few little extra protein in them, and
I guess. Hey, from what I understand, before there's hair on them, they're tasty. they go right down. You can dip them. Anyway,
yeah.
All right. So we had a preseason game on Saturday afternoon at 1:00, which was kind of
we did.
You went to the game, didn't you?
I
did.
You did. Yeah.
All right, Jesse, you didn't go to the game.
No, I did not.
No, I did not either. And as a matter of fact, I was out shopping for cabinets while the game was on, and I watched it on a delay when I came home, and everybody was wondering, what the fuck touchdown are you watching? So what did you think? Let's start with we'll start with Keith because he got out of bed and went down there and went to the
game. Typical preseason game, in my opinion. First and second quarter was pretty boring. There wasn't a whole lot of scoring going on. Not much really to be excited about up until the Commanders scored their very first touchdown, and that happened to be in the end zone where I was sitting at. So I got a very good perspective of seeing Brian Robinson Jr. Walking into the end zone. Loved his energy. Loved the crowd's energy, even though it wasn't a full stadium, but absolutely love the energy. I can't wait to see what week one's going to be like when we have the stadium packed with more Commanders fans. Hopefully it'll get super loud. The one disappointing thing is the team, I don't know if it was meant, they were supposed to play it, but they didn't. They played their fight song after the second score. So it was just kind of strange, but again, that first touchdown brought good energy. It was nice to see Carson Wentz. I was a little nervous that he was in for so long, but I think he needed it. I think the fans needed to see it. We needed to get him in there and get a score. So, like I said, first overall impression, it's preseason. I don't put too much stock in it, but being at the game, I definitely love the energy of the crowd. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like week one when there's more fans in the stands.
You're muted, John.
Sorry about that.
Hey,
what the fuck? It's the dad joke, right? So, I thought the crowd was good. I didn't think it was a huge crowd. I didn't expect a huge crowd, but I thought that they were lively. I thought that it was a good group, and it was a nice day. So you had a lot of people out, and I kind of like that. I like preseason games in the middle of the afternoon. They look like football. Looks a lot better than, because I swear to God, maybe it's just that they use cheap-ass local TV cameras. But it always looks like they only turn on half the lights at night for a preseason game. It never looks quite right. Anyway, so overall impressions of the game. We'll start with Jesse. Jesse, what did you think? First off and foremost, just your overall impression of the football itself.
Look,
Okay.
I was fine with it. I was perfectly fine with the game. There wasn't, too many highs, not too many lows. Of course, there was good and bad. I was content with Carson Wentz. I thought he was fine. But I think we have some younger players kind of that were molding that in the future is going to play a big role with this team. And it was good to see. Those second and third teamers, they came out ready to play. I was impressed with Sam Howell, and we fought back. We were down. What was this, like 16 or 17-6 or something like that, or 20-6 or something like that, and we came back to get the lead, and then we shot ourselves in the foot at the end of the game. But it's preseason. But overall, and we'll get to details in a little while, I'm sure. But I was pleased.
Yeah, I mean, who was it? George Carmi asked this today on Twitter about how you felt that your overall impression of the game, and my needle didn't move a single bit. I have high expectations, so I expect the offense to look crisp, and I thought that by and large they did, with the exception of one gigantically huge, massively fucking titanic, glaring mistake that keeps happening. And a lot of times I think that some people were criticizing Wentz for checking down. I'm not, because look, honest to God, maybe they said just go out there and work the underneath, throw it to these little tight ends. They only threw one pass to Terry. I think they threw him two. He caught one. They only threw once to Dotson. They didn't really try to work with the outside guys with the ones in whatsoever. He threw a lot. What's his name? Rogers? Is that this tight end's name?
Yeah, Armani Rogers.
Armani Rogers.
The book on Wentz is he doesn't like checking down, and that's not what I saw on Saturday.
He was just warming up the shoulder, right? Getting the rookie some things. I don't think he really needs to, like I said last week, I don't want to see him try to get in there and try to work on stuff with Terry and what.
Very bland playbook.
Right. Get him in, get him out. So I was kind of surprised.
I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He threw underneath passes, but you know what? That'll matriculate the ball down the field, right?
I'm like I said, I'm content. We went 3 and out. And then our second drive was a fumble. I'm so glad that Rivera put them out for the third drive, and we sustained a very long drive and capped it off by one of my favorite young players in Brian Robinson Jr. A lot of people were upset when we drafted him in the third round. I thought it was a brilliant move, and it was brilliant. Brilliant.
I agree.
Yeah, dude, that he's got it.
We knew that.
I'm not going overboard right now, but from what I saw, he looks like a true running back, and something that we really haven't had since Adrian Peterson. But Adrian Peterson was fucking older than dog shit. I mean, I think he could be something that we haven't had here, since Alfred Morris.
I would agree. Keith, you had something to say?
Yeah, no, I was going to say the same thing. If you want to ask me the big bright spot of the game, it was Brian Robinson Jr. I mean, there's no question about it. The guy was running the ball well. Like I said, loved his energy on that touchdown. I think he's going to bring some excitement. I think we needed to see that excitement too, especially after that Antonio Gibson fumble. Once that fumble happened, you could just hear the crowd just, and it was almost to the point where here we go again. I mean, he's been doing this. It's been reported that he did this in camp. Now we're translating to preseason. Honestly, gentlemen, I don't think we're going to get that under wraps. I think that this is going to be a consistent problem. But again, like Jesse said, week 1, preseason, game 1, not going to freak out. Preseason is to iron out.
I'm freaking out about Antonio Gibson.
The fumble is not freaking out. It's what you should be.
Well, if y'all would let me finish, I'd be able to tell you the same thing. You a-holes, you interrupters, you scumbags. I'm trying to say, unfortunately, with Antonio Gibson, this is carried over from last season.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal.
Absolutely, it's a big deal. And I mean, you lead the league, and I said it last year. If we would have had a healthy running back behind him, McKissick was hurt when he started his fumbling issues. Well, I mean, he started them in week 1, but he had a couple of them. He had a real rash of them there, right around 10, 11, 12, 13 in those weeks there. Whereas McKissick is out. And they didn't really feel they bench him for a series or two, but you couldn't keep him out because he didn't have anybody else to turn
Patterson
to.
And I don't think the team's really sold on Patterson, and he was an undrafted rookie at the time. No, you're right. We had no choice but to keep him out there.
I like the other guy better, Williams. Is that his name? Williams, Jonathan Williams.
Yeah, Jonathan Williams. I do like the fact that Ron put Gibson back out there with the twos.
He has to. I think he sent a message because today, our good friend Rio was at camp and said that he saw with a final 11-on-11 drills, Robinson ran every play. So I think it's already happened. I think I called it way back when that he was going to be running back one pretty quick because you can't fumble. You can't fumble. I don't give a fuck if it's preseason. And for our initial one for the day, all right, I'm going to play our bumper coming in. I'm going to go ahead and use this.
Sit down and shut the fuck up. Shut up! Shut up! Sit the fuck down and shut up! Shut up and sit down. Will you shut up? Just sit your ass down here and shut up.
That's right. All of you people that have been telling me that this is no big deal and it's just nothing, you're making too much out of it. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. All right, because that's what Antonio Gibson's going to do. He's going to shut the fuck up and he's going to sit the fuck down. And he's going to go over to somebody like Jay and Dotson and say, why do you carry a football around everywhere? And Jay and Dotson's going to say, I'm just a rookie, but I also know that you can't keep putting the goddamn ball on the ground. And the same thing. One hand in traffic. He's running it in traffic with the ball in one hand, not high and tight, down here, like he's fucking Johnny 1973 and shit, O.J. Simpson and whatnot.
Going and I'm still seeing people talk about, well, that's not his natural position. This is
so what?
His third year in the position.
This is the position they're telling him to play. Okay, when you go into traffic, cover the fucking ball.
It's been reported that the running backs coach, they were doing drills. They got these rubber band things for him to work on his fumbling issue, and it didn't work. It's just a mental thing. He can't get over it, so he's going to have to sit down.
It's a physical thing. He doesn't hold the ball right. They punch it out, and every team knows that if you punch at the ball with him, he'll put it on the ground because he doesn't cover it up.
This is it. When he gets the ball, he tries to do too much. Ron Rivera said it in his damn press conference after the fact. He tries to do too much, and then when he goes to it, it's obvious that they've worked on it all summer long with him, but it's not getting through his head.
I'm sorry, but that was the second series of the game, and he fumbles.
No, I know.
I know he worked on it all summer,
and that's why it's not physical. It's not physical. It's mental. It's not getting through his head because he still is trying to do way too fucking much. He's not.
He was on his way to the ground. He doesn't hold the ball right. Ron Rivera, I can tell you this. I think he's a good football coach. I think he's good for the team, but I trust what he comes out of his mouth in a press conference about as far as fucking Keith's dog can be trusted with baby rabbits. Okay? It means not at all. So he's going to tell me anything to make it. He's never going to ever come down on one of his players.
It's been shown. There's been reports of it all fucking punch it out that they've been working on his fumbling issues. So I mean, that's this is on Gibson. This ain't on the coaches. This ain't on the coaches.
I know it's on Gibson. It's completely because it's mental, yes, but the mental part of it's not like a mental block where he can't catch a ball or he can't write a song. It's a physical thing that he doesn't cover that thing up. He's on his way down to the ground. He was only about 4 inches off the ground. That guy punched it out, and it's because he's got it like this throughout the entire carry coming into the middle, and that's all they're going to do. They're just going to be punching at it and punching at it. So. What the hell's going on in y'all's house? Jesus Christ.
It's mine. It's my kids.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, Brian Robinson's a huge bright spot, and I'm excited to see what I actually hope they kind of shelf him for the rest of the preseason.
I'd be all right with that.
Yeah,
a little bit of work.
I think like John said, or no, it was Keith that was saying Jonathan Williams, man, he ran the ball well too. So run him, run Gibson, let Gibson get freaking at least 2 quarters in game 2. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's not my running back one no more.
Not no more. Let me tell you there, Keith. Not like my running back number 1 no more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, honestly, if the guy can't come in the game and my first thought is, oh shit, don't fumble, I don't want you in the game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
especially like he immediately does.
Right. Every time the quarterback goes for a handoff and Gibson's there, you're like, oh shit, is this
right? He was going to the ground. Like,
right. They know he doesn't have it covered.
Right. I mean, so like I said, I mean, this isn't just this season problem. This isn't a preseason problem. This isn't a camp problem. This problem has existed since last season. So to me, it's a huge problem. To me, I don't feel like that ball is going to be protected. I have no confidence in it. Yeah. And I'm coming off of a high with Brian Robinson Jr. playing well. I mean, how could you not say, "Hey, that's my RB1"?
He looks like a running back.
They ran.
He's a power running back too. Yeah. That's what I love.
He's got
6 carries. They were all between the tackles. He's got the traditional.
He's a traditional running back.
When he was drafted, a lot of people said, "Oh, that's good. Why are you drafting a short yardage running back in the third round?"
It's a running back.
No. If you go back and you look at Alabama, he caught the ball out the backfield. He had a nice catch. I think what it go for like 7 or 8 yards. He's got hands. I am perfectly content with him running the show, and McKissick being his running back 2, third down back, and then Gibson can be relegated to running back 3.
Look, I'll tell you what. Why can't you do something like bring a tight end off the field and run 2 running backs with him and Gibson in the backfield at the same time? Make everybody wonder what the hell you're going to do. This was what I liked the most about Robinson the other day, was because he ran up between the tackles. He was patient behind his blocks to the point where he would get his hand out on front of his guard and push a little bit until he could make a crease, and then he'd cut through it for 2 or 3 yards. This is what you want. All right, I'm gonna do the old man thing here. But when anybody ever brings up the debate about Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders, okay, I'll take on who do you want for one game? I'll take Emmitt Smith, because Emmitt Smith, when it's just not as freaking crystal clear, is going to put his nose down. He's going to get you those 3 yards. It'll turn into 6 yards. It'll turn into 12 yards. It'll turn into 20 yards. If you give him a game to let him run and let him gain some steam. Barry Sanders, he'll pop one for 50 yards, but he'll lose, 10, 2 or 3 times too. So this is my point. And it's what I liked about what I saw about Robinson. He will put his nose in there and he will move that thing along, and you give him a game to work. You give him 15 carries. I'll tell you what, by the time the fourth quarter rolls along, he's popping off 10-yard runs.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I noticed with him too. I don't particularly care for where I'm going to be sitting this season. But I think it's important that I am with the Hog Farmers. However, I kind of did get a different perspective that I didn't really pay attention to the few times that I sat there in the end zone last year. Was, you really can see, you can see from start to finish, who's missing. If you're paying attention to the offensive line, you can see, which way they're blocking, what holes they're trying to create. So it was a different perspective that, I did try to pay attention to, and you hit the nail on the head. Brian Robinson was definitely putting his hand on a back, and he was leading with an offensive lineman, and he was hitting those holes. It seems like that was what I liked about him is the play call was exactly that, and he made yards out of the play call, as opposed to, going backwards or trying to do something fancy where you're trying to make and create something. Antonio Gibson, to me, is that type of running back where he'll try to, create something that isn't there to get those few extra yards. Robinson was just that hard-nosed, follow the play design and make it work with what you have. I think this guy truly gets the NFL style, and I actually like to see his style of running back in the league again, because we don't have too much of that, around the league, and it's proven that it's successful. I hate to go back to the game. Right. I still hate to go back to the days of John Riggins, but John Riggins was that type of running back.
Right. Well, it's very rarely you're going to see anybody running the ball 38 times a game. And I don't mean one back. I mean a whole team running the ball that many times a game anymore, because the other team can score so much faster nowadays.
I like what Ron was saying when he was talking about Gibson, that every play is designed to score. But when it breaks down, you get what you can, and that's it. What Antonio was doing, he was just trying to dance around, and a lot of time when he dances around, he misses the initial hole, and you can tell that because during replays, especially when they show the camera from back, it's obvious where the guards are pulling or how they're blocking. He even misses wide open holes that he could go get 3, 4, 5 yards and wound up getting no gains.
Look, this is what I saw in Robinson. They did have a couple of plays where they ran him off tackle, and he knows when to make his cut. He knows where that hole's going to be. He's going to make that cut like I saw in one of these off-tackle runs. He's coming out like he's going to bust off the back end of the tight end, and he cuts it right back inside the tackle. The hole isn't there until he makes the cut, but he knows it's coming. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows that the guard's pulling over. I like it.
Your Emmitt Smith comparison is on point. And
I didn't make a comparison to the all-time leading rusher after one preseason game. Let's be clear about that.
Oh, no. I'm calling you out. You compared it. I heard
we're not sending Robinson to the Hall of Fame quite yet. But we're just saying
we're Commanders fans. Of course we're sending them to the Hall of Fame. Stop it.
How many times you run the ball? What, 6 times?
Yeah, 6 times
for 26 yards
and a touchdown,
yards to carry,
which was a nice touchdown. It was a nice alley that they made there. It walled right off. He had a sidewalk to walk.
Yeah. I'm very pleased, and I like.
It leads me to want to see more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
100%.
So what they,
but not right now. I don't want to see no more during the preseason. To be honest with you, if he doesn't carry the ball one more time, I'm perfectly okay with it.
I agree. Keep him under wraps. You know what he can play. That's not probably what they're going to do. They'll probably run him out a little bit next week or this week. I don't even know what day do we play on this week. We play on Saturday. Saturday afternoon.
Saturday games are weird, man. Preseason. It's a Saturday 1:00 preseason game. It just didn't. I don't know.
It was weird. When I said I went cabinet shopping, it's because I didn't know we were on at 1:00. I assumed 7:00 like always.
Yeah.
See, I'm in disagreement. I get why you guys don't want to see him because you don't want to risk that injury. Me personally, that to me is just something you got to risk with a rookie. Yeah, I want to see more.
Now, I feel you. It's not really injury that I'm really worried about. Is I just want to keep him under wraps, man.
Sure. But I want him to solidify that role because if he continues to play like this in the next 2 preseason games, I'm hoping that does solidify that RB1. I know they're going to split carries. I mean, that's exactly what's going to end up happening. But I want Robinson to this might be a bold statement because I like Antonio Gibson, but I just haven't seen enough to fall in love with him, right? And I truly want to fall in love with Brian Robinson. I do. I want his wedding ring. I want to marry him.
Let me ask you
this. I'm going to go to camp tomorrow. I'm going to ask him if he, can give me his left leg, something. He might be using it, so I don't know. I'll probably get rejected, but I don't know, man. I was just super impressed with what I saw with him. He's got the style running back that I truly love, and I think we're bringing back the old school running back style with him. So, and then on that plus side, you guys mentioned earlier, he's got hands. I mean, he caught the ball. Like that's what you want to see. Like. Awesome. Great. This is what we need, and I'm happy with what I saw in McKissick last season. Yeah. I don't need to see too much in preseason.
Hey, listen, we saw him. One play was all we needed to see, and McKissick's back, man. He looks healthy. He looks quick. Right.
Bubble wrap him.
He's not fumbling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's dual threat. He can run and catch. I mean, listen. Make that RB2 and Gibson. I'm sorry, man, but look, I have no confidence in you, and when my confidence is gone, I'm giving up. That's what I've done.
As far as to make him a straight up running back, I think that's probably going to be the confidence is shaken completely. But there's still value there because he still does have hands, and if you get him out in space where that one arm really isn't going to be as dangerous when he's running through traffic, if he can catch the ball, a 5-yard little slant, little dig or something like that, where he can try to make something happen in space there, I'm all right with that. Get him.
There's a place for him on this team.
There is. Sure. So look, with what you were saying about Robinson, though, I think that our first piece of audio today would be directly related to what you were saying. So somebody sent me this. I forgot who sent this to me. Sorry. I think it was Adrian Lindsay sent this to me. This is from the Cardinals and Bengals. This is a field goal attempt. Are you ready? So here you go.
You have to like when there's a guy coming right in your face and he just sits in there and delivers it really well.
I think that's what Keith was saying to us about Robinson.
Okay. You have to like when there's a guy coming right in your face and he just sits in there and delivers it really well.
Oh, my goodness.
John always takes a little too far.
What? And look, this is on television.
You have to like when there's a guy coming right in your face and he just sits in there and delivers it really well.
He just sits in there and delivers it. This is a field goal attempt, and this is what the guy thinks he's seeing.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Moving on.
Moving on. I want to put this back out there to everybody who's listening. Thank you to Adrian for sending me that in the DM. Look, if you hear something stupid, and you will, I got some other things to play for you later on. Send me the time of the game and what game it is. Third quarter, 10 minutes, 54 seconds. Joe Blow said this, whatever. And I'll go listen to it, and we'll see what we can find. Because there's gems like that out there all the time.
That was a good one, Adrian. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, all right. So, moving on. Now, Wentz, we all kind of agree, looked good, crisp. He didn't get hurt, which is good. He stayed underneath, and he had one deep throw that really didn't connect, but I'm not going to hold that against him in any way, shape, or form. Heineke.
Heineke was doing Heineke things. I mean, you saw pretty much the whole season in his a quarter and a half of play. And that's pretty much it, man. There's really not much to be said when it comes to Taylor Heineke because we know what he is. It hasn't changed.
Yeah. Look, dude, I mean, he almost got Diami Brown killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brown was coming across the middle.
He was almost murdered.
Yes, he was.
Then
it took him a while to get up.
What he does best. Well, he did what he does best too. He ran, he made a big play, and it is what it is. But then not too long after that, he throws an interception. I mean,
I'll tell you one thing. And go ahead. Sorry.
No, and I was gonna say, and when people see that, they're and then Sam Howell comes in. Sam Howell shows some good plays. Now you've got a QB2 versus QB3 talk. I mean, I think it's a little bit too early and a bit strange that we would make that call now, but we are Commanders fans, and it's what we do is over exaggerate. I still believe Heineke should be, QB2 at least for this season. Let's not move Howell up into the ranks to where in the event, knock on fake wood. But if Wentz gets hurt, I'm not interested in seeing Howell come in the game. And and that's just my honest opinion. Obviously being a rookie, he has no experience. Heineke's got to get in that game.
If we're out of the, we're having not such a great season and something happens to Wentz later on in the season, week 12, 13, 14, let's see what the kid has. But I put this tweet out on Saturday. I saw Hal do Heineke things better than Heineke does them.
He did.
And that arm is very real. That ball just fucking flew out of his damn hand.
Well, that's how a throw works.
Yeah.
You put impetus behind it, and then when you let it go, the ball it comes out of your hand and it flies to where you hopefully have aimed it. Unless you're
there was that one
quarterback coach
it flies to about 15 yards short of where it's supposed to go. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm full of my shit right now. Look.
Well, there was that one play too where Hal was able to where Hal was able to escape the pocket. No, I was just saying there was that one play where Hal was able to escape the pocket. That is definitely a Heineke thing. But I'm just not ready to see a rookie be put out there. Not yet. Let's not kill this dude's confidence. Even if we're terrible towards the end of the season and Wentz gets hurt, I know people aren't going to agree with me. There's a reason why he's 5th round. There's a reason why he is QB. Let's be patient and not ruin this guy immediately. If anything, just ruin Heineke. I mean, sorry. That's just bad to say, but depending on the situation, I don't want to see Hal come in at all. I want Hal to truly develop. And I know, well, how can he develop if he's not out there playing? Well, ask that about some of these other guys.
There's ways to develop. I mean, it's in the time that we live now. It's a show me league, and you don't see these quarterbacks, really sitting for a long time. But Trey Lance, we're going to see him this season. He's set for a year last year. So we'll see how San Francisco's developed their quarterback. Kind of hearing some mixed reviews, but lately I'm hearing good stuff about him. So we'll see. But no, we said this, after we drafted him. It'll be nice for him to sit for a year, or 2 years, without having the stress of coming in here and being the man. And that's why a lot of us are hoping that Carson Wentz is going to work out, for at least a couple years. But then hopefully, possibly, with a little luck, we might have our future franchise waiting in the wings. And chances of that happening is probably slim to none. But from the looks of it on Saturday, those chances may have gotten a little bit better.
If we just wish hard enough and believe we can get anything we want. Here's the way I stand on this kind of thing right here. I think the argument over whether he should be 2 or 3 is premature. He did well against the 3s, and he showed that the league is not too fast for him with the 3s in there. He did make some nice plays. He does have a live arm. I don't care whether he's against 3s or not. The ball has zip on it. Your competition doesn't really have anything to do with that.
Arm.
Right, that he's got a live arm. So Heineke, he escaped the pocket too. He did run for a good first down, but he also threw one way off fucking target to the tight end. He couldn't hit him. So for me, when we're discussing whether or not we wanted to see any of Sam Howell this year, that means disaster has struck. We've lost our starting quarterback. Something's really gone, haywire. And if Wentz goes down, dude, I'll tell you what, chips are on the table. I don't care. It's not that I would just say, throw him out there to the Wolves. But if Heineke comes in, who'd be my first choice, and he doesn't start moving the team, and he's still his same old freaking hot and cold, up and down, can't throw it past 10 yards, noodle fucking arm himself, let me see what the kid can do. Why not? Sometimes experience doesn't make a whole lot of difference. They groom these quarterbacks now to be able to play. So
I see that point too, and by then, if disaster strikes, he may not have the pressure of carrying a team for a season and hopes to make in the playoffs. But I would personally prefer for Wentz to work out, and we don't need to even worry about.
Let's not get him get hurt.
We wouldn't even have to have this conversation,
right?
But if it doesn't, the conversation will be had. I'm sure.
So, all right, Keith, who else stood out to you on the offense? Give me one name. Give me somebody.
I can give you the offensive line. I felt they stood out.
I'll pick one in particular there. Wes Schweitzer was doing exactly what I think.
He's a fucking animal, man.
He could block a Toyota Tundra. I'm telling you.
He's a fucking animal.
Good.
And the good thing about the offensive line is we did not have our 2 starting guards. And Norwell did play, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Trey Turner he's been hurt, but I think Schweitzer,
you know how we didn't have our starting center and right guard, and Trey Turner and Chase Roulier did not play. And listen, there was pressure. I think one play that Wentz almost got hit, but he actually threw a really, really good ball for a first down. But other than that, man, I didn't see any pressure on Wentz. Wentz had time. He was able to move in the pocket, and it was all because of that offensive line.
I agree. And you know how I feel about Schweitzer. I think he should start anyway. That boy's a beast. I like him.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you another name. Dax Milne looks like he belongs on a football field. When he gets the ball in his hands, quick. He accelerates like that. I like him. I like Dax Milne.
I seen him for the first time. I seen him for the first time after the game. He looks like he's 16 and he's trying to score some weed.
Don't let him near your wife.
All
right. So defensively, what did you think of that? Jesse, we'll start with you. Defensively, what do you think?
The defensive line looks hungry and ready to play.
You can bubble wrap them. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't need to see John Allen again. I don't need to see Daron Payne again. Put them out.
I really wanted, and this is a little concerning for me about St. Juice. He was supposed to play, then he was a late scratch. I want to see all of our defensive backs out there playing together. Danny Johnson got picked on, and he got picked on often. I thought that
Danny Johnson, he needs to start to grow up and get used to it. Having people make fun of his mole, he's going to have to get ready for it. But yeah, it was the linebackers. Let me let Keith back in here. There he is. The linebackers were just, dude. The first 8 yards past the line of scrimmage when it was Holcomb and when it was Davis, Davis looked like he was fast again. He's fast.
I saw more out of Davis than I did of Holcomb during that game.
They're just compete these underneath passes all day long. I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care if it's vanilla. Jesus fucking Christ. They're as open as a goddamn prostitute's legs on Fleet Week. Holy shit. Yeah. It's just crazy how they are unable to do something like this. Somebody posted a video up today of Jonathan Allen bull rushing and almost hitting Baker Mayfield, throwing his hands up at the end. Yeah. But what I saw Holcomb and Cam Curl screw up the release point of the coverage. Tight end runs free, catches the ball, and it doesn't matter if Allen throws his hands up. It's an 8-yard completion. Yeah. So they got it. Dude, I do not understand this, and you know it. I'm not going to harp on it again. We've been over this and over this. I don't understand for the life of me how they don't know what a linebacker is or what it's supposed to do.
I'm worried about Holcomb. I don't everybody knows my feelings on Cole Holcomb. I think he's
overmatched.
There's nothing special about him. I'm worried. It's very concerning, and it should concern everybody.
Dude, did you see David Mayo in there?
Oh God!
I tell you what, Keith, you had your son at the game, right? How old's he? Nope, Keith is frozen.
Keith, can you hear us?
There he is. Dude, anybody but David Mayo. That dude is lost out there. He looks like John Bostic's blind little cousin. All right? The motherfucker doesn't know what he's doing. And the fact that he's our number 2, Kaliki Hudson, did you even hear his name?
I didn't see him play, really.
6. Oh, he's 6. See, I think I would rather had him out there than David Mayo. He would have made better plays.
You can hear us? Okay, good. I didn't see Kaliki Hudson play much. I mean, that's pretty much it for the defense. It's concerning.
Yes, it is. It's quite concerning.
Hopefully, it's vanilla. And Ron was pissed about it too. He fucking from what I understood that from reporters are like maybe he might have said a little bit too much. He was very heated after the game about the special teams and the defense, and I don't blame one bit. The special teams pissed me off. The fucking kick returns. What are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing? Fucking
who is that?
Taking balls fucking nine yards deep out of the goddamn end zone. Are you fucking dumb?
He's trying to make a team. That's all. But that's how you get that. You better break it because otherwise you just show yourself as being stupid.
Yeah,
that's just the way that is. All right, so since I know Keith is running short on time, let's do some our first edition of butt pats and head smacks. This is our game balls segment. We're gonna pat him on the butt, or we're gonna give him a head smack, and I made this thing for it. So butt pat, attaboy, head smack. Get out of here. Did that fuck up, or was that me?
It might have been you.
All right, well, that was me. All right, so Jesse, who's your first butt pat of the game?
My first butt pat of the game will go to Brian Robinson Jr. That's pretty much it, man. His play speaks for itself. Excited to see what he brings in the future.
All right, Keith, who gets your butt pat?
Attaboy. I don't even know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
Attaboy.
All right.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Butt pat. All right. Butt pat, man. I don't know. Like, I feel like the only bright spot to this game was Brian Robinson. I mean, I guess I'll give a butt pat to Carson Wentz. He went, 10 for 13. And
you can double one. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to pick a different one. If you think Robinson gets your butt pat, give him a butt pat.
But I'm with Keith. I think Carson Wentz, he commanded the offense very well. He got in and out of the huddle. He looked like he was in command behind center. And compared to what Ryan Fitzpatrick did last year, he looks like he's in control. And I'm good with that.
I'd rub Carson Wentz's butt with my hand.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's better than asking him for his wedding ring, I guess. You could probably ask him that when you're down there for practice tomorrow. You can say, "Hey, Carson, can I rub your hand?" Attaboy. Hey, all right. So I'm going to give my butt pat for the game.
That's a bit much.
I have no idea. He probably said that 5 minutes ago. So my butt pat of the game is going to go to Sam Howell just because he played really well. It wasn't over his head. He didn't make any egregious errors. He kept his eyes downfield and he made connections, and I kind of like that. So, attaboy. That's for Sam Howell. All right, so who gets your head smacked? All right, where's Jesse? He's muted. So my head smacked. The fucking linebackers and Jack Del Rio and whoever the hell else is over there trying to tell these linebackers that this is how you play football. What about you, Keith?
Yeah, Fuller can get mine giving up that touchdown to Carolina.
Antonio Gibson.
Oh, yeah. I've completely. Jesus Christ! There you go. Sorry,
You just fucking whacked yourself.
fucking right on the microphone. I heard Antonio Gibson's name and I fumbled. What happened? All right, so I do have some goofy audio from the weekend. All right, Doc Walker was on the game, right? So I didn't catch as much as probably everybody thought I could have caught because there was a lot, including some shit that I would never play on this podcast anyway. But who the fuck ever ordained that guy? I loved having Doc on the game, let me tell you. Because he's been hitting the head a lot, and he's passionate. I think Doc thinks he can run right out there on the field right now and play.
Right now, yeah.
All right, so here's my favorite Doc thing, the whole thing. And
There we go. As Walker is taken down back at the 24-yard line by Daniel Wise. That's what I'm talking about. You gonna be the victim or you gonna be the prey?
they're both the fucking same.
There we go. As Walker is taken down back at the 24-yard line by Daniel Wise. That's what I'm talking about. You gonna be the victim or you gonna be the prey?
Which one do you rather be? Would you rather be the victim that gets taken down and killed, or would you rather be the prey that gets taken down and killed?
I guess the victims.
Keith is barely here. All right, so the other thing about that is I don't know what happened. I think they let a goat in the fucking – they must have had one in the booth because listen to this. Right after it starts, Doc says, here we go, and then I don't know what this noise is.
There we go. As Walker is
There it is. The fuck was that?
Oh,
What's
man.
going on in the goddamn booth there? I don't know. We have the Broncos' new owner who can't even say his new boss's name.
I'd like to thank Roger Goodell, Commissioner Goodell.
There you go.
Commissioner Goodell.
I like that.
Goodle.
Commissioner Goodell.
Oh, Goodle.
Good old Goodle. All right, so there's some goofy audio that I captured over the weekend, having some fun. Plus, of course, don't forget the guy coming to Keith.
You have to like when there's a guy coming right in your face and he just sits in there and delivers it really well.
I will say this. I like the fact that we can play audio on this show, but I do not like this audio player. It cuts off on me. I don't know what the fuck it's doing. It's not a very good interface. Come on, StreamYard. You're getting my $25 a month. Let's get some better goddamn tools in here.
So we got Kansas City coming up next.
On Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon, I think.
In Kansas City. It's about to be hot. So what are you looking for?
It's going to be a real test for the defense, man. This is all about the defense, I think, this game.
I would agree. Show me you can stop somebody on third down. Show me that, God damn it. Show me that. Because that, to me, is the biggest question about this defense. I told you.
Third down.
When they gave them up left and right, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, giving them up. The only time they stopped them was more than 3rd and 7. They were able to stop a pass. But when you are consistently giving up 8 yards on 1st and 2nd down, you are never going to fucking win. You're never going to win. And this is driving me up a fucking wall. I would like to take Jack Del Rio and stupid motherfucker. Yeah. While Jesse sips on his goddamn juice box. Jukebox of death. All right.
What else? Yeah, man, it's all about defense.
So, yeah, do we want to see them put Patrick Mahomes out there for more than a couple of plays?
You know, it's kind of odd because, you know, before we moved to 3 preseason games, you know, that third game was the one where, you know, most of the starters played for a half. Mm-hmm. So last year was the first year that we did 3 games, or it had 3 preseason games, and it seemed like game 2 was I don't even think they played a half. I don't remember Fitzpatrick playing a whole entire half. So I definitely would like the offense and defense to both get a full half of play in and just rest everybody the third game. But we're going up against a very, very good team. So this is probably going to tell us a lot. I'm not going to get too worked up about it. Just because
tell us nothing.
Well, I mean,
it's preseason.
I think it is. I honestly do. I mean, they don't have the best defense in the world, but they have one of the best offenses in the whole entire NFL.
Yeah, but they're not going to do much with it out there. It's not like Andy Reid's going to be running out anything out of his playbook. What I would hope for more than anything is that we get a couple of series that has Patrick Mahomes in it so that we can practice chasing his ass around, because their offensive line, they're going to want to test that. They rebuilt that thing because they've been getting trashed with it. So let's go out there, test ourselves against that brand new line. They're not going to, I think that Andy Reid's going to want to see their line a little bit heavier and chase Patrick Mahomes around for a little while. See if we can hem him in a little bit. But other than that, you know how I feel about it. I think preseason for a lot of veterans is unnecessary risk. Get on, get a sweat, get out.
If they give up a shit ton of points going up against a vanilla offense, okay, then there's issues.
There's issues anyway, because what's going to happen is they're going to break through the line. Patrick Mahomes is going to go, hi-ho, I can see that there's a tight end running wide open right across the middle of the field. Always, no matter what I do, they're wide open. I can't find anybody to cover them. I'm telling you, you will see a tumbleweed blowing between our defensive line and our safeties. It'll blow right across the fucking field because there's never anybody there. And no matter what, that's what I want to see. Keep us out of third and short. Keep us out of third and short. Linebackers, show the fuck up to play. That means you, Cole Holcomb. I couldn't give a shit about your fucking haircut. Show up and play some goddamn football.
Yeah, that's all I got.
So I guess we're done. Have we decided what to say at the end of this show anymore?
Not yet.
All right, let us say this then.
You gonna be the victim or you gonna be the prey?
I think Keith died. What the hell's the matter with him?
He froze?
I have no idea. He might be asleep. Yeah, he's asleep. All right. Well, then, that's what I'm going to say. That's our out.
You gonna be the victim or you gonna be the prey?